All right, so let's get into this. Just okay on Instagram. I'm gonna go live for the first like 10 minutes, 5 minutes maybe. Give you a little bit of a taster, and if you want to listen to the full episode, go over to SoundCloud, and we're going to try and get it up on iTunes as well this week. We just didn't try.
Everyone's waving. Oh my God! There's a lot of people waving at us.
I'm telling you, look at the hashtag influencers. So alright, let's crack into this.
Hashtag Cúpla fucking.
Yeah, please use that hashtag. Yeah, well done. So a review of last week's podcast. It was good.
Intro to the podcast, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. We got a good response from it.
Yeah,
I mean, from the YouTube and from the SoundCloud, I think we're close to like 500 streams or views or listens. Yeah, man. Your GAA sprint pitch session is on 31,000.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, man. I looked at it this morning. I was creeping on your page last night.
Oh, thank you.
Mental. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for
you're welcome. I'm always there for you.
Yeah.
So
That's
thank
funny.
you for the support. Yes, man.
Yeah, that's funny because I was only chatting about it yesterday, and I was like, I didn't even know if I was going to post that video.
Really? Yeah.
I was like,
It's
such a simple video.
It was a simple video too.
Yeah.
There wasn't much editing involved, but like I suppose it was informative. Did it get picked up by any like Joe or any?
See what happens is when you put it on, when you type in GA into YouTube now, it's like the third video.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's I think that's why.
Marketing 101. There you go.
Yeah, and now all the other ones have loads of views too.
Yeah,
and loads of subscribers. Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing
it's great.
So I got a few people coming up to me in the gym saying they love the podcast. So thank you very, very much. And hopefully we can continue to bring some content, some laughs and some value. And I suppose it's an hour of the week where me and you get to sit down and not talk serious business.
Yeah. I thought that the first time we did it, we were like two hyenas, like, you know,
it was like two 8-year-olds,
who
ate 2 kilos of sugar.
Yeah, we were very excited, and we had only one mic, we were going at it. But I think the last one was a little bit more laid back and a little bit more, you know, we took our time a bit more, and I think, you know, whether that was for better or for worse, we don't know, but there's been a good response.
I think the duration is good. Like, I think anything within the hour is a good time, because again, if you're listening to this on audio, you're probably in the car, you might be training, you might be doing something, and it's nice to, you know, have that little time to relax and to listen, and hopefully we don't bore you to death or blast the ears out of you. So I think this week's podcast will follow the same kind of style. We'll do so last week we kind of gave an intro into who we are. This week we'll kind of delve a little bit deeper, and we'll give our kind of topics on the do's and don'ts and the fundamentals in our kind of area. So Colm will touch on the movement, sport, physio, and I'll do more food and nutrition. So kind of do's and don'ts when you're starting out. It's the main thing. We'll do a roundup of the week. We'll do a new section we want to do is like a gratitude section, or something that we're grateful for.
Really important.
So yeah, I mean, two of us do practice that a lot anyway. So what we'll do, or what me and Colm are going to do from now on, is we have 1 week from when this podcast ends to do an act of random kindness, you know, and then we'll say it on next week's podcast, and we can kind of come back and discuss it and hopefully spread that as well, because I always say to people, you know, the more kindness and the more random acts of kindness you can do, it definitely comes around. You know, good karma definitely will come back.
Or I think even sharing a story of a random act of kindness that you've been that you benefited from, you know, I think that's as important.
And that's my one this week, actually, someone who did it to me. And then we'll wrap up with a call of action. So again, a tip or a trick that we're going to give you to implement for the week ahead.
We're also open to ideas, like, you know, is there, do you have suggestions? Like, should we do a snippet of the podcast where we go into character? This is really a comedy podcast now, so we have that much practice. Just to let you know. So we're open to ideas. Is what we're saying.
Absolutely, yeah. So please do, if you listen, please do comment, subscribe. Tell us if you liked it. Tell us how we can improve, and sit back and relax and enjoy.
Okay, so on the agenda number 1.
So this week so far, so anything happening in the gym, anything worth talking about this week?
Yeah, loads happening. We got a new vending machine in, and the vending machine at the moment has, we'll say, like energy drinks, so like there's things like Monster, does those little Dragon shots, and, you know, Red Bull, and there's obviously water in there, and then there's, you know, all those kind of protein snacks, like protein bars. But one of the girls in the gym, Shelby, she's vegan, and like there's a bit of this kind of like beef going on between Shelby and the vending machine. So Shelby's like, oh my god, you know, none of this should be in here. It should be all like vegan friendly stuff.
Shelby has like a kind of holistic view.
She wouldn't be one now to drink a can of Monster, you know. What we've done is Shelby's going to start stocking the vending machine with some like vegan options, and then there's going to be like this battle between like vegan and
good and bad
vegan food in the vending machine. So be interesting to see how that turns out. But yeah, I mean, listen, that was just one little thing that came up, and it was a kind of a funny little bit of banter that we're having among staff. But other than that, like, business is going so well. We've had loads of new members, really exciting. We've met a lot of people about kind of the whole media thing. So we've contacted one or two people about social media and coming in to join, say, like a media group, and that's all kicking off, which is really exciting. And I suppose what's the most exciting for me about it is like these are really nice people. They're not necessarily people who have got a massive following, but they're just like good, genuine people, and it's nice to kind of be around good, genuine people.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, we're all really happy, and
we're building a network. We're building
100%. Yeah. It's like a little Casey Neistat thing.
It is.
You know, he's 368. I mean, like, we do have to come up with a name for it though, like Team 100, or you know, we need like. We don't know what the address of the business of the building is. We don't know what the actual address is. So there isn't an address basically, but we do have to come up with a name for the group.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
What about you? How was your week?
Good week so far. Busy as always. The
meals are flying off the gap.
I can't keep it stopped. You're kidding me. I stopped it yesterday morning.
The munchers were gone yesterday at about 2 o'clock.
Yeah, so I trained last night then to finish my day here, and then I decided to stay late and restock it again for this morning because I knew there was class in this morning. So no, it's great. Thank you very much. And the best thing is, like, most people who are buying meals are
buying again.
Yeah, they're reoccurring, but they're also messaging me and they're texting me. So I got a good message yesterday saying they picked them up, they liked it. And you know, the one fella pre-ordered more meals in advance, so it's great. I mean, the feedback is what I love. I don't want to sell food and that's it. I want people to come back in to tell me how it was, how, you know, what they liked, what they didn't like, and that's how you build a good product. That's how you build a good business. Is you know, look after your customers, get their feedback, and kind of grow from there.
And I have a quick one for you.
This won't be quick.
Oh, I can't remember what it was.
It will be quick. That's the quickest one you've ever written.
No, it's something that actually came to mind, and I was like, oh, I really want to ask him this.
Why are you thinking about that? We're running a meal deal here in the gym as well. So what we're doing is a lunchtime.
I know what it is.
I know what it is.
Hold on.
Go on.
What's the discount code for the members? People have been asking me. I have no idea. I can't remember.
Fit 100 meals.
Fit 100 meals.
If you have to be a member, you have to be a member.
That's for members of the gym now.
And we'll check. All right.
We'll double check.
So yeah, if you're a member of the gym, you get a discount, 15% discount on the meals. And anyone can call in.
We might have to cut that out. Like, there's 500 people watching this podcast.
But anyone can call in.
We might just blank that bit out.
I've had a few people messages asking, do you have to be members? They are, yeah.
All caps.
Me and you will discuss this later.
We'll blank it out. It's alright. Blank it out.
But anyone,
come join the gym.
Anybody can call in.
That's called marketing on.
Huh?
That's called marketing.
It's called losing money. But yeah, okay. So
don't be flustered now. Don't be flustered.
The meal deal. I wanted to talk about the meal deal. So we run a meal deal here. It is a lunchtime workout, a meal, and a coffee for €10. If you want to go to dinner, it's €12. So we've actually gotten a good response from that, and we haven't done any marketing for that yet. Me and you are brutal. Every day this week we've said, alright, now 2 to 3 flyers. Here we go. We're out handing them flyers door to door.
I actually had a very serious conversation with one member of our staff yesterday who was like, lad, you need to get these flyers out. So today, it's like they've been like just pushed back a day.
But like, people are coming in, so obviously word is spreading.
Yes.
So we're going to get out today. We're going to get out and hand out those flyers today. We are.
Yeah, we are.
100% now. Like, it's been put down on paper. Yeah. Other than that, no, it's been a good week. Everything is growing. Everything is getting busier. Just trying to stay on top of it all.
Now, your call to action last week was to drink more water.
Yes,
Did
indeed.
you drink more water?
Did I drink more water? Sorry, look at this.
Say what?
2.5 litre gallon here beside me. No, I haven't.
Hold that no. We haven't drank any of that yet.
It's just freshly topped up this morning. It's ready to go. But
I, on the other hand, have drank no water last week.
And I actually didn't.
I'm like a
yesterday,
tomato.
I trained for the first time since last Friday, so I didn't move at all.
Okay.
So no,
I did do a training session on
It's a busy
Sunday.
week. I got scalded last weekend.
Man,
oh my! You can see my neck, the tan lines.
Yeah.
So we were out in an event in Kilcornan, back
like
close to home.
Oh, you were like a glistening.
Tomato.
But you tan like, you know.
I don't tan. I colour like.
You colour a bit, yeah.
But it's not brown, you know.
It's not brown, yeah. You're not.
I'm not. Yeah, I wasn't as pale. But
been
no, my God, did I get burnt on Saturday? And like I
during an event.
I burned super easy in an event. Yeah, we were at a catering event.
Oh, that's called commitment to the cause, you know.
That's it, sir. You know, I was out there doing my thing. Didn't realise it. The sun was, and geez, I paid for it the next day and for the following 3 days. I blistered my neck and everything. So that's probably my call to action this week would be fucking wear sunscreen. Although it's supposed to rain today.
Hey, bit of rain.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's our weekly wrap. Anything else happening this week?
Oh man, there's so much going on, but you know, listen, we're just rolling with it. We are doing our thing. I think it's lovely to see kind of the response from people with your messages. And,
yes, it's class.
Also, just with like talking to people from our point of view at reception, you know. So I mean, we're trying to really emphasise that good first impression and good second and third and fourth and fifth impression. We actually haven't advertised either for the gym yet, and that's because we just want to make sure that we get those good first impressions.
Yeah, and the staff are killing it too.
Yeah, man, the staff are doing unreal. Yeah, we're so happy. And we're actually, on that, we have discussed, myself and Owen have discussed doing a family meal on a Monday. So we have a meal, every Monday we do
this is not
a
for the
group
public.
meeting.
I'm not reading comments here. We're live on Instagram as well, by the way.
Lunchtime workouts are worth the tenner.
Worth the tenner. Oh,
Stephen, we agree.
Saucy. David Grant also comments, your boy just came home. That's news.
Yeah, David Grant is home.
Welcome home.
DG Target Fitness. But yes, on the Mondays we have a staff meeting or a group meeting here at Fit 100, and we want to basically have the meeting, do a workout afterwards, and then everyone meet together for a meal. So Owen is kindly is going to sponsor the meal, but in return, we're all as a staff, we're going to try and set some targets in terms of how many meals we can sell for Owen. So I think I'm really looking forward to that because
I love that.
Just
man,
eating together.
My favorite thing in the world is to sit down with people
and eat.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I could talk all day on that, but it's the best way to get to know someone.
Yeah,
it's the best way. It's such a nice, relaxing time, and especially for a team, you know, there's no better way to kind of get to know each other.
We are like 15 minutes into this podcast, and we haven't even gotten onto the topic.
That's a weekly wrap up. All right, let's get into the meat. I'm gonna finish this live stream.
Let's go.
Thank you for watching. If you're on the live stream, if you want to watch the full episode, go over to SoundCloud. It'll be linked everywhere and anywhere. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. And Shlán Awalia.
Shlán Lat.
Okay, so the topic this week that I want
fundamentals, the do's and the don'ts.
The do's and the don'ts. So yeah, I'll start off with this.
Sure.
So again, I suppose this is just a way to introduce us more to you, the listeners. My background is food and health and nutrition, and that's kind of what I'm passionate about. And a lot of the questions that I get are from people who are starting off or who want to kind of make the first move to improving their health and fitness. So again, there's a lot of mistakes that people make. There are a lot of things, unnecessary things that they do that they think that they have to do. Because again, I always say that we're bombarded with nonsense on social media, and you know, you don't know really what to believe anymore these days. So believe me.
Believe the man. The ginger guy with the tan.
Yeah, with the tan lines. So the first thing I will say is just take it one meal at a time. And what I mean by that is, people will say on Monday morning, that is it, I'm starting again, we're starting fresh, everything is just getting a reboot. And that often is just, you know, too much to handle. You know, you might prep 5 meals, you might do it for Monday, Tuesday, and then on Wednesday you're sick of it, you're eating the same thing, and it's no good. So start small, 1 meal a day. If you can nail your breakfast, you know, if you can nail your breakfast, that is such a good start to the day, because at least from then on in the day you know yourself that you've had a good start. And again, oftentimes if people skip breakfast or if they're busy in the morning, what are you laughing at? I don't know what I'm up behind me with it. Anyway, as I was saying,
I'm messing with the camera here in front of us.
Okay,
I'm just doing.
Okay.
I don't know.
So focus on your breakfast. If you can get that right, it sets you up for less failure throughout the day. And also, if you skip breakfast, you may tend to binge eat more throughout the day. So, you know, oftentimes, me personally, if I skip breakfast, or if I don't get a chance, or if I sleep in, which is very rarely, because I'm on my point.
You are on point.
Yeah,
you are on point. You are. Sorry. You are on point.
Thanks very much. But I think that there is a study showing that people who actually eat breakfast tend to eat, like, I think 10% or 20% lower calories throughout the day.
Yes.
So, like, you know, if you get to lunchtime, you haven't eaten, you are starving. The first bit of food you see, you eat with your eyes and you're indulging, and that kind of carries on throughout the day. And again, having that kind of negative association with food, it doesn't set you up for success. So that's kind of one thing I would recommend, is just start simple, start in the morning time, either pre-prepare your breakfast in the morning, or you know, a quick and easy breakfast to go when you get up. So it could be something simple as yogurt, granola and berries, it could be porridge, it could be overnight oats, it could be eggs, anything like that. And again, when you kind of get into the more nitty gritty, you can look at what foods suit you best, but we'll touch on that some other day. All I want you to do this week is just start small and get a good breakfast in you. I have 3 more, but we'll let Colm, we'll kind of go zigzag. So give me your.
I think that's a really good one.
Thanks, man.
Not like, just to clarify, I don't think people have to eat breakfast.
No, and nor do I.
But people who kind of like struggle to make a change, it is like the best time to start.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, get your day started right. So yeah, I think that's a very, very important one. I suppose for my side of things, in terms of the fundamentals or the foundations of how we look at things, is we have our 4 action words. So focus, fuel, train, recover. Right. So we like to kind of take the approach of looking at every aspect. So as an example, your nutrition might be on point, your training might be on point, but you might not be sleeping, or you might be really, really stressed. You might be one of these people who burn the candle at both ends, and then as a result you might be making the progress you want. Or you might there might be something in your nutrition where that's what you need to focus on, or there might be some aspect of your training where that's where you need to focus. So I suppose what I would one of our fundamentals, or one of our do's and don'ts, is do try and figure out what is appropriate for you. Where are your strengths, where are your weaknesses, and then tailor your approach based on that. So if you're someone who really, really struggles with food, let's maybe start with breakfast and try and get that right. Yeah. Maybe food for you is not the issue. Maybe it's actually just getting to the gym, trying to figure out how you can actually just get to this. Do you need to focus on? Where do you need to put your energy? What we find for a lot of people, as an example, just on the functional screen, ankle range of motion might be something that's lacking. And if we can improve your ankle range of motion, we can get you more upright in your squat. If we can get you more upright in your squat's going to be a little bit safer, less likely to cause any like back discomfort or DOMS in the lower back. And usually you're moving a little bit better. So yeah, my first take home, or my do or my don't, would be do try and focus on something that's specific for you. Do try and focus on, we'll say, an area that's maybe lacking, that you know if you improve this area, which might be again the breakfast, or it might be literally like cutting out sweets, everything else then will improve around that. Don't try and do something very generic, or don't try and completely overhaul your entire life in a day. You know, pick something, focus on it, get it right, and then move on to the next thing once that's established.
Yeah, same way. Just start simple, start small.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very, very good. My number 2 would be to kind of look at your food choices, in the sense that at the end of the day, it is a calorie deficit, and your energy balance is what will result in the weight loss and fat loss and all of that kind of stuff. But it's the components that make up the calories throughout the day will have a huge will play a huge role in that. So what I'll always recommend is kind of filling up your diet with wholesome foods, kind of high fiber foods, in the sense that, you know, I always promote, I'm not vegetarian or vegan, but I do promote a lot of vegetables in your diet, because with that, and again, if you're someone who's trying to lose weight, you may be coming from a standpoint where your previous diet may be very high in sugar or snacks, or, you know, these convenience foods that aren't very high in fiber, high in protein, and it often leads to like these kind of insulin spikes throughout the day, and we're hungry and we're cranky. So the best thing you can do is, when you're looking at your meal, try and fill it with some fiber and try and get a good protein source in it. So what that's going to do is it's going to kind of fill you up, it's going to make you feel fuller, and it's going to help with your appetite satiation as well. So you'll be more satisfied.
That's a big
word coming at you.
Big boy word in the morning. Big boy word for this time of the morning.
You'd be surprised. I mean, like, if you were, it's like a good experiment. If you sit down in the morning and you eat, or even for lunch or whatever it is, if you eat like a cereal or a sugary food, you're going to feel full, but give it 40 minutes, give it an hour, you're going to start feeling a little bit hungry again. You might have more cravings for more sugar, and that's purely down to the food that you've eaten. So again, if you were to replace that meal with something that's kind of high in fiber, more vegetables, more whole foods, and then a good protein source, you're going to be much more fuller. Your appetite level will be much better, and you probably go for longer throughout the day. Your energy levels will be much better too. You're not going to get a slump throughout the day. So again, you don't want to, I'm not trying to bombard you with stuff, but if you can just look at your dinner plate or look at any meal you have, try and get some servings of vegetables into them, try and have a good protein source, whatever it may be. And then if you're training, then you know you're adding in carbohydrates. If you're in ketosis, you should be adding in healthy fats anyway, regardless. But again, it's just starting simple. Look at your dinner plate, kind of break it into like a clock. So from 12 to 6, half of the plate should be vegetables. From 12 to 3, so a quarter of the plate should be a protein source, and then the rest can be filled up with your carbohydrates, your healthy fats, whatever kind of fits your lifestyle, which I'll touch on in a second. But again, just focus on that. Try and get more whole foods into. It will help your digestion, it'll help your gut, your skin, and then coupled with that water intake, you're going to have a much better appetite regulation. You're not going to be hungry, you're not going to have food slump or energy slumps throughout the day. So just kind of break it down, look at that, and take a much more mature approach to your food, I think, rather than, you know, grabbing that healthy, convenient Mars bar, Snickers bar at lunchtime.
Eat like an adult, as they say.
Eat like an adult is right.
Like an adult. When you were younger, the mother always told you to eat your vegetables.
Absolutely.
So make sure you eat your
mother
vegetables.
doesn't lie.
Oh, she knows something.
So that's my point 2.
Very good. Okay, my point 2 would be, I'd actually recommend people get some kind of a functional screen. Like, we're talking about you're taking the food, right? So I'm going to take the training aspect.
Go on.
I would actually recommend a functional screen. Okay, so screen. So there's a couple of movements that you can do that will teach you about your body, teach you about how you're moving, and also kind of maybe identify in some cases limitations. So an overhead squat, I can show you a lot about ankle range of motion and hip flexor range of motion, and if your overhead squat is poor, there's a reason for that. An active straight leg raise can teach you about hamstring flexibility, and we also like to do one that is we like to do shoulder mobility exercise. So quite simply, if you are training, what I would actually recommend you do, we have done loads of videos on this, I've done loads of videos on this, but I would just Google overhead squat test, or Google how to assess your ankle range of motion, and from there, if you do, like as an example, a knee to wall test, and if you find that your knee to wall is sub 10 centimeters, then your ankle range of motion needs to be worked on.
So when you say a screen, it's like an assessment in a sense.
Yeah, but you can do it yourself. You know,
Yes,
these things can be done yourself. Like when we do our assessments with people, listen, they're an hour long, and it's more or less like 40 minutes of a functional screen. You're not going to be able to do all of that yourself. You're not going to know how to score it yourself and understand what is like normal and what is like, you know, lacking or limited. But there are a few there that are really good ones, like the knee to wall test. So my point number 2 is assess your knee to wall. If it's less than 10 centimeters,
describe that to me now, because
it is. If you're standing against the wall, you're going to have to Google it or look it up.
Yeah,
on an image.
yeah.
Facing the wall, shoes off, foot flat on the floor, heel on the ground, and you want to get your knee in to touch off the wall, and you're measuring the distance between your toe and the wall. So again, you're standing in front of the wall. You can actually go down into a lunge pattern. Let's say your right leg is leading, left knee is on the ground. I'm trying to get my left toe and my my right leg is leading.
Toe and your knee to touch the wall, isn't it?
No,
sorry, your knee.
Your knee to
Yes,
touch the
yes,
wall.
yes, yes.
So if it's my right leg leading, I'm keeping my right foot flat on the floor, the heel and the toe, and then I'm bringing the right knee in to touch the wall. And I'm essentially trying to get that right foot back as far as I can without the heel raising, whilst keeping the knee touching off the wall. And if that's, you're measuring the distance in between the wall and the tip of your toe. If that's less than 10 centimeters, we'd recommend you work on that. If it's greater than 10 centimeters, brilliant. It's probably something that's not limiting you.
How could I work on that?
You can do soleus stretching. There's a whole pile of things you can do. There's a vast array of soleus stretches. So the soleus muscle is basically the deep calf muscle.
Yeah.
And if that's tight, then it's going to affect your knee to wall. And usually it is tight. With members of the general public, it's tight. If you don't have a good history of exercise when you're younger, usually it's tight. Some people do have a bony block at the front. So as an example, when you do the chest, if you feel a lot of pressure at the front of your ankle joint and you feel no stretch on the back, you may have a bony block. And if you do have a bony block, sometimes there's nothing you can do about that. And there's you can raise your heels when you're squatting as an example, but I would assess your knee to wall, figure out if you're above or below 10 centimeters. If you're below 10 centimeters, you need to do some soleus stretching, which is stretching of the deep calf muscle, and there are an endless amount of exercises you can do for that.
Very good, very good. These are very in-depth.
There we go.
Very good.
Something a little bit different.
Yeah. Are you going to beard?
No, I am not. I am just a man short on time.
That's it,
Yeah.
That's nice. Well, you've had time to groom it though.
Yeah, I do try and just look after it. Yeah, I think it just naturally looks after itself. It's just the pattern of the hair.
Self-grooming beard.
Self-grooming beard. Yeah. Anyway, self-grooming beard. Yeah.
Right. We're flying to this. We'll probably do one more each.
Well, hold on. Oh, there's the camera again.
Anyway, I'll crack into mine. It's just I have 2 points. But I'll try and tie them into one for one last point. Look at your environment and be consistent. So when I say environment, I mean like often our eating habits are determined by the positions and the environment that we're in on a day-to-day basis. So what I mean by that is if you are at work and you're in the canteen and all they serve is fry-ups or convenience food, and you're sitting out with a table with your friends and all they're eating is these whatever's being served there, your environment is dictating the food you're eating. So in that scenario, you may need to prep your meals in advance, or you may need to look for another option where you can kind of not change that environment but bring in a substitute so you're not caught in that box. And it may be the people you're hanging around with, or it may be the social events you're going to. All these kind of things, your environment on a day-to-day basis will kind of determine your eating habits. If you live a very stressful life, you might be short on time. You may not have the time to sit down and cook a meal. So in that regard, again, you're looking at prepping your meals. You're looking at buying your meals. Or you're buying a healthy option. I don't want to. This isn't
my
just to plug my own business, but
tenfold since I started eating your meals.
But again, I don't want this to just be an hour
plug. No, but
that's
honestly,
that's literally why I started the business. Because even for me, for myself, in college, you're short on time, and you're starving. It's 12 o'clock. You have a 2-hour lecture, and the only option you have is to go to Spar and get a chicken roll. And now, granted, shops are much better these days. You can get a healthier option. You can, but again, that kind of comes down to you. You can go to a deli and you can get a chicken wrap, or you can get a breaded chicken roll with mayo and coleslaw. So it kind of comes down to your own willpower. But again, the environment you put yourself into will kind of determine that. So that kind of comes down to, again, planning and preparing. Know what you're going to be in, know your agenda, know if there's going to be a 4-hour block where you're going to need food. Try and plan in advance, or try and know where you're going to get that source of food from. And just be consistent. I think that's probably the biggest thing. People are not. They're not consistent. I mean, like, everybody starts off with great intentions, and that's fantastic. And you know, if you're making the first step to make a change, then, you know, I salute you, and that's fantastic. Anyone who has to get up and go to make this change in their life, you know, needs to be applauded, and, you know, good for you, but you have to be consistent with it. I mean, I would much rather you be on point 3 days of the week for 6 months of the year than on point for 5 days of the week for 1 month, burn out, and then go back to your old habits and routines.
Yeah.
I mean, I know so many people that will go on these drastic diets and will lose loads of weight. I mean, like, it's not that you don't see results, and that can be what's blinding about it, because, you know, if you go on this special fat diet, you will lose weight because you are in a calorie deficit. There is no other way about it. But is it sustainable? Is eating 1,000 calories? Is eating?
We actually had a girl in this week. Well, no, she's a client of ours, but she went through that.
Yes.
What you just talked
and
about.
as have I.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when I was 16, I just cut carbs, and I was like, this is it. Here we go. Lost loads of weight, and I mean, it was great. And I suppose now, looking back at it, if I could have lost that weight and said, okay, cool, now I'm at where I need to be, so now let's implement a plan where this is sustainable. Whereas the way it should be taught, and the way you should go about it is, I need to make a few changes to my habits, to my routines, to my schedules, and I need to do that. Like, you need to look at your diet, your food, long term. I mean, like, the way I eat now is the way I can eat for the rest of my life, hands down. And if you can't do that, then something needs to change. I mean, there is no shortcuts to this. Weight will be lost, but oftentimes when you're off that fat diet, you lose the plot and you put back on, and I think you often put back on about 10% more weight. So it's being consistent, and with that, it's just finding the routine that suits you. You know, there is no cookie cutter program for this. You have to find what suits you, what's sustainable for you, because, you know, my schedule and your schedule can be very different. Our food groups are very different. I couldn't eat what you eat, and you couldn't eat what I eat, because you have tons of allergies.
Because you're a special boy.
But it's important. I mean, like, you know, most of us aren't doing this for a living. You know, your income isn't dictated by your food, so you have room to maneuver, you have room to play with this. You know, see what food groups you like, see what routines you like, try them all out, but go at it with the approach of trying to get a sustainable long-term plan with it.
Yeah, I'll add to that with a story.
Please.
Now, I just want to clear up. I'm going to run this by the lady that I'm talking about. I'm obviously not going to know her name.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm going to run this by her before we post it.
I thought you mentioned that.
Yeah, but okay, so a month ago we had a lady that started. She was 62.6 kilos. She came into us initially. We wanted to put her on 1,800 calories. And this lady does a lot of exercise. She teaches an exercise class, so she does a lot of exercise. When we initially set her up on 1,800 calories, she was a little bit concerned. She was like, oh no, I wanted, like, I thought, like, 1,200 calories. I've never eaten 1,800 calories. She's like, no, I want to start on 1,200 calories.
And 1,800 would be on the lower spectrum.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And at that time, right, and this is what happens when you're a business owner as well. At that time, she'd come in, I had set her up on one of her trainers, and I could tell by that initial conversation that there was a little bit of disbelief in terms of our approach. Okay, she was kind of looking at this meal plan, and this was the big thing for her, was accountability and the nutrition side of things. She was looking at this as kind of like, these guys don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I met her in the middle. I said, okay, listen, let's go like 1,500, kind of 1,600 calories. Well, it's actually 1,500. And okay, I won her over there. She's like, okay, I'll try 1,500 calories. So she went at 1,500 calories. I met her again last week. She was coming into the gym, and I could see that she was visibly not in the best mood. Visibly not in the best mood. Week 1, she'd lost 0.7 of a kilo. Week 2, she'd lost 0.4 of a kilo. Week 3, I think she'd gained maybe 0.1 of a kilo. Now, they were from like 3 different, let's say, time points of measuring her. So I went up, when she came in that day, I went up and I just chatted to her, and I asked her how she was getting on, and basically she was absolutely wrecked. And she was looking at the scales, and she was like, why am I not making any progress? I'm eating 1,500 calories every day. I'm perfect on my nutrition. I'm exercising like 2-3 times a day, because she's doing her classes. So I scheduled her in for a reassessment. She got a reassessment. From the results of the reassessment, she had gone from 62.5 kilos down to 60 kilos. her body fat had gone from 24.7 to 23%. Her would say the sum of her skin folds had come down maybe 10 millimeters, which was like significant. When I went back and actually looked at the data in terms of what was a realistic target for her in terms of that month, she'd actually surpassed the recommended lower end of weight loss that we'd set out for her initially. So we sat down, we chatted with her, Shelby had a good chat with her, and it was basically like, listen, you're actually not eating enough food. Come 7 o'clock, she was dying, she was crashing, she was on the couch, she was done for the day.
What that is, it's your NEAT, your NEAT, your, I just googled here because I want to be absolutely sure, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So what that means is, you may not, like, that woman may have thought that she was doing, you know, plenty throughout the day, exercising, going, but it's the simple things like sitting down on the couch. You don't have the energy to get up. You may not take the stairs. Often when you're calorie deprived of that, you blink less. So you breathe less. So much things. It's those little things that you don't see, and your body is literally fighting you to reduce the amount of calories that you're burning because it thinks it's going into kind of drought mode. So that's kind of what that is, and that's why your energy levels come down so much, is because your body is saying, okay, look, if you're not going to feed me, I'm not going to give you this energy. So that's kind of what she experienced.
The long and short of it was, like, what she was doing wasn't sustainable, and we brought her back up now to 1,800 calories, which is still probably a little bit low based on how much exercise she's doing. But we need to give her more energy, because, like, at 7 o'clock we want her to have energy. We want her to enjoy time with her kids and things like that. So, I mean, listen, what Owen is talking about, sustainability, is so important, and that's why we would set targets for, you know, we actually don't want you to lose any more than this amount of weight, because if you lose more than this amount of weight in this time period, you're depriving yourself of energy.
Yes, absolutely.
So again, 100% behind the idea of sustainability long term.
There's more to life than just numbers and scales.
Of course, you know? Yeah. So yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, wow. I had another little bit that I was going to say, but I think that's loads for today.
I think it's good. I think, like, the take-home message there is, start simple, be consistent, and do what suits you. You know,
look at the long-term plan.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
don't focus on the short term. Look at the long term.
Good stuff. Wow. All right.
Gratitude.
All right, you need to bring some energy back in here. That got very serious.
Yeah,
that was good. There's a lot of value there. Though, man.
I think I like it. At the start, it was all banter and a bit of crack, and then put on serious faces and got into some serious talk. So I don't know. Let us know if you like that style.
Yeah, please do. Please give us more feedback. All right, gratitude. This is a section that we want to bring in because me and Colm practice this both as much as we can throughout the week. Every night before I go to bed, I have a chalkboard wall, so I painted one of my bedroom walls in chalkboard paint, so I can write on it.
That's so funny.
And it's like, I have one section which is called a brain dump. So if I have
you asthma
ideas, I do, yeah.
And is it in your room? Chalkboard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I don't.
Is it liquid chalk or is it?
It was chalk. Oh no, my asthma, I haven't had it since I was 8. I had it when I was younger, but no, it's gone. Okay, kind of grew up. Thanks, man, I appreciate that. So this wall, like, half it is like it's called brain dump. So if I had these ideas in my head, I just throw everything onto the wall, words, ideas, names, just to get it out of my head, so I can kind of think more clear again. I have like to-do lists, and I have one section is called gratitude. So every night before I go to bed, like, it takes 5 seconds. There's 3 bullet points, and I write 3 things that I'm grateful for that day. It might be a meal that I ate, it might be someone that I met, it might be anything at all. The simplest of things, just think of 3 things that you were grateful for that day. So I practice that every day before I go to bed. I get up in the morning, I rub it out, and you know, I go through the day again, and that's kind of how I end my day, and it's nice. And it's
okay. So over the last week, give me 3 things you were grateful for.
3 of them. Okay, actually I have 3. The first thing I'm grateful for, I mentioned already, is just the positive feedback and the messages that I get from the meals. I really appreciate that, and it's what I want to give that personal touch. And as I always say, I don't want to be just a food company. I want to be a community of people. I want this to be much bigger than what I initially set out to be. So I'm very grateful for the people who message me and who buy the meals, and I of course give criticism too. I always welcome that. If you didn't like something about it, or if you see it could be improved, please let me know. Second one, definitely, is But I get home in the evening time, and I didn't get home last night until 11. But usually I get home at about 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock, and I usually get home starving. And there's nearly always food ready at home.
Yoo-hoo.
So either Mam or Lily has been making soup this week. She made like a savage pea and bacon soup during the week. And it was so good, and it's so nice to come home and have like something ready to go. So I cooking all day, I come home, and then I don't have to cook again.
Man right there.
So yeah, I'm super grateful for that, and that really helps. And last one is Alwyn Murphy. She called in during the week, and she is going to help.
Alwyn is so sound.
Yeah, such a nice person. And she called in, and we're going to do a cooking demo for the first year students in University of Limerick in September. So I think the initial date is the 11th. I'll be in the stables doing a cooking demo. But Alwyn made that happen, and she's super supportive and always kind of looking out for us here. So I'm super grateful for that opportunity as well. So over to you, Mr. Moran.
Yes. Okay. So first thing I'm grateful for is the people I'm in business with. That's Owen. That's John, my business partner. That's the team in Fit 100. That's our landlords. You know, I mean, listen, what we have here is great. It's so great, but it's not possible without everyone involved. So, you know, I am so grateful to those people, and hopefully I show that to them on a daily basis.
Yeah, you do.
So the second thing that I'm grateful for is actually the honesty from our team. You know, what we're really trying to be, like, I've played a lot of sport, so it's great when you play sport and you get an understanding of a team dynamic and how a good team works and how a good team succeeds. And usually a good team succeeds when, you know, people aren't afraid to, first of all, speak their mind, step up to the mark, and then as a result it becomes player-led, and that player-led idea is something that, you know, it's great that I've been a part of that with regard to a sports team, but I really do feel like our team here is also player-led, or also team member-led. So if someone thinks that something needs to be changed, they voice it, and like we're kind of on each other's back to really just try to improve our own standards. So that is something I'm so grateful for. A really good chat with someone yesterday on that, and it's just, I think, really sparked now some necessary changes that, you know, otherwise. And they're the little things. They're really little things, but they make a difference. Okay, so they're the first two. Sorry, lastly.
You're going to speak up a bit.
Lastly, I am grateful for my mum. My mum is like my mum is like so cool. She like always calls into the gym, how the gym is going, and like. Oh, she's just like this little lady who's when I see my mom, I just like try to go over and hug her, like, you know. So thank you so much to Mum. Come in. Hello, Mr. Hey. Come in. You had Colm
Nice
before.
to meet you. How's things?
Good to see you.
Great to finally meet you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. Am I disturbing you there?
No, you're fine.
You're in your flow, like.
Yeah.
What is that? Unfuckle or
Cúpla
fuckle, yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, well done, guys. Well done in this place.
Thanks a million.
Well done, yeah. Great setup.
Thanks.
Sound effects. I can even show you emails.
And this is gold, like, you know. Who does matter? This camera needs to be turned the other way. Hold on now. Keep going.
But like, I can show you emails I have from companies, right? Emailing me wanting me to be their main distributor for these water machines, cheaper machines, right? And I bought them. I've stripped them. I've had mechanical engineers look at them because I won't put my face or my name to something unless I know it is the creme de la creme.
Yeah,
you're talking for ages. Yeah, definitely.
I'll definitely thank you for that water as well, because
no bother, man.
It's something on our agenda, you know.
Spot on, man. Spot on. Yeah, really good to meet you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, very good to meet you.
Right.
And let's make that other thing happen.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll get special with it again.
Yeah, spot on.
A1, dude.
Guys.
See you later.
See you later.
And thanks for the room as well. Appreciate it.
No bother. Anytime.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
What a gas, man. We are back. Slight tangent there. But jeez, that was great.
Hold on a second now.
Sorry. What do we gotta do? We gotta do our. What were we on? Call to action?
Pause it there.
You should maybe the red one again. We are back.
We had a slight We had
a
visitor. A great.
We actually recorded a second podcast.
Literally
in between this podcast.
The podcast within a podcast. There, we did about 20-minute conversation.
Podcastception.
So that's Colm's gratitude. You just finished up with your.
I did. I think we did.
Yeah. So the final part of this podcast is our call to actions. So I'll lead off with this one. This is where we will hit out a request, ask you people to do something for the week, see it out, see if it makes a difference, and again, give us some feedback, see if it did improve your week at all. So my one, again, I'm going to try and keep it related to my topics. So I had a look at Lidl's Super Savers last night. That's like the 6 items when you walk into Lidl or Aldi. There's 6 items that are always on discount. So this week it is celery, peppers, and avocados. They're all 49¢. Like super cheap. I really do recommend. I'm like, this is coming from a fellow who owns a food business, and they're like not a competitor, but I really do recommend getting in there, and especially in the Lidl's and Aldi's, you can really save a lot of money doing your food shops in there. So we'll do celery, peppers, and avocado. So to give you an idea how you use them, you could do a stir fry. So I posted a prawn teriyaki stir fry recipe on Instagram this morning, so you can check that out. You can use those fruit or vegetables in that recipe itself. And another great. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, there we go.
Oh my God.
We have an email subscription with Country Munch, and every week I send out a recipe. So last week it was an Asian stir-fried rice, and I got 2 pictures during the week of people making the stir-fry Asian stir-fried rice. It was savage. So I love that.
Unreal.
So
Alright, that's what we want.
Yes, exactly.
Power to the people.
Power to the people. So these can be used in that. So call to actions: get out, get shopping. Look at these ingredients. You can do stir fries. The avocado, you can use it for your breakfast. You can add it to salads. Really good, really high in healthy fats. So try and incorporate more of them. And that's it. 49¢. Yeah, you'd be mad not to.
Okay, so my call to action is to do your need to wall test. Okay, we spent a good bit of time talking about it today, so let's just go do that. And if anything, it'll just teach you something about your body, and teach you whether you have good or bad need to wall flexibility or soulless flexibility.
Have you a video on your YouTube?
I actually do, but if you give me a second, I'll go find it.
Alright.
Oh, my thing is dead.
No, which is send where can they find it? We will leave a link.
We'll leave a link
down below.
And the video actually goes through. I can even hopefully if I send the link, I can actually just put you straight to the part where it does the test, rather than having to watch the whole video, because the video might be 10 minutes long. But the video actually goes through the overhead squat, the knee to wall, the shoulder mobility, and the active straight leg raise. So there are 4 kind of movements that are really good to just test. So that's what I would encourage you to do. Go test out your mobility, and then from there you know more about your body, and you can take a more specific approach.
Unreal. So 2 good call to actions. Please try and implement them. Let us know if they have improved your week. And this has been a good podcast, man.
This podcast has been 2 hours long, man.
Podcast number 150
2
is going
hours
to be
long. I reckon
sick.
This could be 2 podcasts rather than 1.
It genuinely could be, yeah.
It could be 2 podcasts, yeah. We're going to have loads of little snippet things.
Yeah, so many. I can't wait for them.
Yeah, because I'm uploading the full one on my YouTube channel, and then Owen is
I'm going to take the kind of the pieces where there's 30 seconds of value. I'll take them and post them as well.
30 seconds.
Yeah,
2 hours.
Keep people's attention. But no, we're going to come in just under the hour. So no, that's a good time for a podcast. I think.
An hour. Oh my god.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, so thank you so much.
Sheila.
Please make sure to follow us. Share it with a friend. Just tell a friend about this, about what we're doing here. Call into us. If you call into us, you're going to meet both of us anyway.
You are, yeah. And
that's the
we're
best
going to show you around and
exactly.
get a good experience of the place. I mean, we all want everyone to enjoy their experience.
Absolutely. All right, that's it. It's enough from us. Thank you very much.
Sean O'Móráin.